I am in the Forbidden City, and I'm going to talk about a mad emperor, the Zhongde Emperor. Now, he ruled in the early 16th century, and he had a few successes. For instance, he kept the economy in good shape, he led an army to stop Mongol raids in the north, and he made contact with the Portuguese and defeated their fleet in 1521 in response to the Portuguese invading Malacca. But he was a touch mad. For instance, in the south, a prince rebelled, so the emperor rode out to try and stop him. But by the time he arrived, the prince had already been caught. So the emperor ordered that he would be released so he can catch it himself. Plus, here in the Forbidden City, he converted pens that used to store exotic animals into somewhere to store all of his prostitutes. In fact, he was very fond of foreign women like the Uyghurs and the Mongols, but he kept so many prostitutes that some of them just died of starvation. He would refuse to attend meetings, he would deny most of the requests his ministers made, and at least once he got all of his ministers, eunuchs and the likes to dress up like shopkeepers so he could pretend that he was a commoner in the city. All of this angered a eunuch named Liu Jin. Now, brief aside, the court employed eunuchs so they would stop any rumours about the father of the heir to the throne. Just makes sense. But anyway, Liu Jin was by all accounts very corrupt. In fact, he amassed a small fortune, well, a large fortune, which some estimate would make him one of the richest men in history. Now, he and some other powerful eunuchs started plotting against the emperor, but they were found out, and Liu Jin was put to death by slow slicing. It took him over 3,000 cuts in 3 days to eventually die, and apparently the onlookers were buying pieces of his flesh and eating it. And just one more emperor I think you should know, Emperor Wensheng of the Northern Qi. Now, he ruled in the early 6th century and spent most of his time out on campaign, but over time he became more and more unstable. For instance, he tried to ban Taoism. Now, that's not because he was a Buddhist, he just thought that both the religions should merge into one and had them debate. He declared Buddhism the winner, and Taoism should just accept that they're now part of Buddhism. But around 554 he became incredibly violent. For instance, after taking a city, he ordered that all boys over 11 should be killed and everyone else could be taken as spoils of war. He also had strange ways of punishing people. For instance, some of his allies he demoted to commoners, he used to beat people to death, and he ordered people to be gutted, etc, etc, etc. Then, out of jealousy, he beheaded his consort, and in a banquet he removed her head from his sleeve and put it on a plate in front of all the guests. But he used to do other stuff, like he used to sleep in the streets, he used to ride cows, he used to run around naked, he used to carry around a big drum and beat that, he used to randomly charge at people and force women to have sex with them. There's a lot of stuff this man did. I'm just scratching the surface, but you should really look into him. He was mad.